there we go. With Michael Hunter just hours before the weigh-in. No worries when it comes to the weight. I have a question. I was watching a couple of you fights for the last couple of days, and the first thing which comes to mind is unbelievable number of fights you had. Because since the Usyk fight, which I was attending live, you fought 6 times. This is your 7th fight in less than 2 years. 4 of them in 2018. What happened? Was your decision? How this the speed up of your career happened?
I was having a little. I got off on a slow start. I was with PBC, and it's kind of they have a big stable, so it's kind of caught under the put under the shuffle. But when I made the jump from my first fight was Martin Bucoli, and basically I went there as a free agent at that point, and I performed that I did. I ended up stopping them, and then Matchroom got a hold of me, and they took me in as an opponent, and I fought Ustinov in Monaco 1 year from today, after that I performed so well, and then they wanted to continue, and they had a hard time finding fights for me. They said that there was nobody that wanted to really fight me, so they ended up signing me. They had to, you couldn't beat the man, so they had to join the man. So that's kind of where it all started, and I made sure that in this new ordeal that I took with Matchroom and DAZN, that I wanted to stay very busy. That's always been something I wanted to do, is be very active. Boxing is such a young man's sport, so that was one of my main things on the contract that I fought very consistently, and they've done that as obviously as you can tell. 2017 Usyk fight. Would you say, or maybe I am reaching too much? It was kind of like blessing in disguise, because I was there for first 4 rounds. You were basically beating the best cruiserweight on the planet. Yeah.
And he won, whatever, fair and square, he won. But then you decided, let's go to the heavyweight division. But people remember you from those fantastic 4 rounds. Any thoughts, and you entertain any thoughts about, I'm doing so well in cruiserweight division versus the best guy, I'm going to stay here, stay in the division, or the heavyweight division was something which you had for a long time in your mind?
No, heavyweight is something I always wanted to do. I've only just dropped down to cruiserweight. I've always wanted to be heavyweight champ. That's something, my dad went after. He was a cruiserweight and a heavyweight. But we've always talked about being heavyweights. I've always looked at the heavyweight division. The cruiserweight division has always been overshadowed by the heavyweight.
Forgotten.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I already knew that I was going to, regardless of win, lose, or draw in that fight with Usyk, I knew that I was gonna go up shortly after. So after the loss, that's how it went. I didn't fight a year prior to that, and I know I had a couple good rounds in there, but I wasn't definitely pleased with my performance. But these are like things that the fans don't really get to see. The struggle and the business and everything that comes with being a fighter. So it's not just really just training and injuries and stuff like that, but also in the business and stuff like this. So I'm here now. I already knew I was going to come to heavyweight, and I fought heavyweight in my amateur career as well. I started off as a heavyweight, and this is just going, like you said, I would agree, it's like a blessing in disguise. It could have went a different way, but I'm glad that I'm here now, and it didn't break my spirit or anything. So Povetkin is going down on Saturday.
Before a question about Sasha Povetkin, from those fights you had since the Usyk, let's forget the Usyk fight, which one of your performances were the closest to what you would like to be as a heavyweight?
That's a good question. I would have to say the Kuzmin fight. Even though I didn't get the stoppage, in which I really I enjoyed to stop these big guys. I would have to say the Kuzmin fight because I outperformed him on pretty much every round. I did get the knockdown, so there was some type of respect there. They had to respect me for my power at some point. And I think every fight continues to get better. I'm continuing to get sharper and sharper and prepare for my have better preparation now that I'm getting back on my feet, and the business of things is going a lot better for me. And I'm dealing with Matchroom and DAZN, and they treat me very well. All I've asked for was to get me be consistent. I don't really care who they put in front of me. I'm kind of like that old throwback type of fighter. I come from
less and less of fighters like you. I mean, the guys, the old school, just put the guy in front of me, I'm going to take care of it.
Yeah, my dad comes from that type of era, early 90s, mid 90s.
I remember. I'm old enough.
So, I'm like that by nature because of my father. And, my little brother's also a boxer. And we just have that, that traditional, lineage of boxing, respect for the sport.
Two more questions. You're busy, like I just said. We're going to the press conference. Sasha Povetkin. I spoke with Povetkin people, and they kind of felt, or they still feel, disrespected by how sure you are about what's going to happen. You and your team are saying you're going down, your time is over. I am paraphrasing, but you know what I mean. I mean, I spoke with them. They said, new guy, I am the established guy. Championship contender, so and so. When it comes to being so sure about probably the toughest fight of your life, we don't know.
Absolutely,
we don't know. I mean, we never know in boxing, but on paper,
I would agree with that. He definitely has the most accolades out of anybody I've fought. He's been the most consistent. Over a decade. And I have a lot of respect for him. That's one of the reasons that I wanted to fight him, because I knew that, me calling him out, that it would be hard for him to tell me no. He's that type of fighter as well.
True.
So, and I knew it would be fan favorite. So, in my last fight, in the Kuzmin fight, I mentioned him, and the plan went right as smooth. So. But I really think it's just my time. A lot of people haven't seen me fight. I've been in the ring with most of the heavyweights in the top 5, top 10 division right now, if not beat them. I just think it's my time, and I don't think it's that Povetkin is, he just beat a young heavyweight in his last fight. So I don't think that he's, slowing down anytime soon or have been slowed down. Obviously, he proved that in his last fight. I just think that my time is here now, So I think he's just going to have a lot to deal with on Saturday.
And the last question, I promise you last two, so this is the last one. Is it as simple as that? Because some people who I spoke with, both sides, Povetkin people, my friends from the US media said, he's going to let him get close, meaning you're going to lose. You're going to keep him on, with your jab and movement away, you're going to win this easy on points. Is it as simple as that, or it's probably more complicated?
Well, when somebody has the reputation and accolades and, experience that Povetkin has, there's a lot of subtleties that you may miss when you get in the ring, until you get in the ring. He's, these things you develop over time, and he has a lot of experience, fighting with the top guys. So, he has a lot of experience. It's very hard to read him when you have that much experience. He has a certain poise that he comes with, a certain calmness, from fighting and fighting and fighting. So I think one of the main things for me to win this fight is my feet, my youth, my long jab, and I think I will definitely be winning by decision in the stretch, but I think eventually he's going to have to slow down. I think I have a faster pace and something that he hasn't had to deal with. You know, even in his last fight, he didn't really. He was able to set his own pace, and I think nobody has really put a real good pace on him. And I think that's going to be the difference.
Thank you very much, Michael Hunter. Let the best man win.
Thank you.
Thank you.